Hey, what's up, guys? Steve here. And today we're going to take a look at the 50 highest selling 1987 through 1994 Michael Jordan basketball cards from the Fanatics weekly auction that ended on September 8th. And we'll kick today's list off at number 50 with this 1991 Hoops McDonald's USA Michael Jordan, card number 55. This was a PSA 10 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $84. Up next at number 49 is Michael Jordan's 1990 Panini sticker with sticker number K. This was a PSA 10 that received 14 bids, and it also sold for $84 even. Coming in at number 48 is this 1994 Bleachers 23 karat gold gemstones 86 Fleer red Michael Jordan, card number 50. This was a BGS 8.5 that received 36 bids, and it sold for $98.40. Up next at number 47 is this 1992 Upper Deck Fanimation featuring Michael Jordan and Larry Bird with card number 510. This was a PSA 10 that received 17 bids, and it sold for $98.40. Coming in at number 46 is this 1989 Collegiate Collection North Carolina Michael Jordan, card number 16. This was a PSA 10 that received 16 bids, and it also sold for just short of $100. Up next at number 45 is Michael Jordan's 1990 Panini sticker with sticker number 91. This was a PSA 10 that received 14 bids, and it sold for $103.20. Coming in at number 44 is this 1994 Finest Michael Jordan, card number 331. This was a PSA 9 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $110.40. Up next at number 43 is this 1993 Upper Deck Pro View Michael Jordan, card number 23. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 25 bids, and it also sold for $110.40. We're back to the 1980s at number 42 with Michael Jordan's 1989 Fleer sticker with sticker number 3. This was a PSA 9 that received 14 bids, and it sold for $120. Coming in at number 41 is this 1994 Skybox Emotion Michael Jordan, card number 100. This was a PSA 10 that received 18 bids, and it sold for $132. Up next at number 40 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Fleer Pro Visions with card number 2. This was a PSA 10 that received 18 bids, and it sold for $132. Coming in at number 39 is this 1992 Upper Deck Fanimation Michael Jordan, card number 506. This was a PSA 10 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $150. Up next at number 38 is this 1990 Bulls Equal Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 9 that received 20 bids, and it sold for $150. Coming in at number 37 is Michael Jordan's 1992 Fleer Total D insert with card number 5. This was a PSA 8 that received 21 bids, and it sold for $156. Up next at number 36 is this 1992 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 32. This was a PSA 10 that received 18 bids, and it sold for $156. Coming in at number 35 is Michael Jordan's base card from the 1990 Skybox basketball set with card number 41. This was a PSA 10 that received 17 bids, and it also sold for $156. Up next at number 34 is this 1991 Fleer Tony's Pizza Michael Jordan, card number S33. This was a PSA 9 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $186. We're back to the 1980s at number 33 with Michael Jordan's sticker from the 1987 Fleer basketball set with card number 2. This was a PSA 8 that received 12 bids, and it also sold for $186. Up next at number 32 is this 1990 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 26. This was a PSA 10 that received 14 bids, and it sold for $192. Coming in at number 31 is Michael Jordan's Beam Team insert from the 1993 Stadium Club basketball set with card number 4. This was a PSA 8 that received 24 bids, and it sold for $198. And kicking off the top 30 of today's list is Michael Jordan's 1992 Ultra Award winner, card number 1. This was a PSA 10 that received 12 bids, and it sold for just short of $200. Up next at number 29 is this 1991 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 29. This was a PSA 10 that received 12 bids, and it sold for $204. Coming in at number 28 is this 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team members only Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 6 that received 12 bids, and it sold for $228. Up next at number 27 is this 1993 Upper Deck European Award winner hologram Michael Jordan, card number EB9. This hologram was in a PSA 10 that received 32 bids, and it sold for $300. Up next at number 26 is this 1987 Edmonds Bulls Michael Jordan blankback, card number 23. This was a PSA 8 that received 30 bids, and it also sold for $300 even. Coming in at number 25 is this 1991 Skybox Canadian Minis Basketball Cello Pack Michael Jordan. This was a PSA 10 that received 26 bids, and it sold for $312. Up next at number 24 is this 1992 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 273. This was a PSA 10 that received 10 bids, and it sold for $324. Coming in at number 23 is Michael Jordan's base card from the 1990 Hoops basketball set with card number 65. This was a PSA 10 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $348. Up next at number 22 is this 1992 Topps Archives Gold Michael Jordan, card number 52G. This gold parallel was in a BGS 9.5 that received 24 bids, and it sold for $396. Coming in at number 21 is this 1990 Hoops Superstars Michael Jordan, card number 12. This was a PSA 10 that received 20 bids, and it also sold for just short of $400. And kicking off the top 20 of today's list is this 1993 Ultra All-Defensive Team Michael Jordan, card number 2. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 44 bids, and it sold for $444. We're back to the 1980s at number 19 with Michael Jordan's base card from the 1987 Fleer basketball set with card number 59. This was a PSA 8 that received 16 bids, and it also sold for $444. Up next at number 18 is this 1994 Upper Deck MJ Rare Air Promo Michael Jordan. This was a PSA 10 that received 20 bids, and it sold for $552. Coming in at number 17 is this 1988 Panini Super Sport Italian Michael Jordan, card number 141. This was a PSA 9 that received 21 bids, and it sold for $720. Up next at number 16 is this 1992 Stadium Club Members Only Michael Jordan, card number 1. This was a PSA 10 that received 16 bids, and it sold for $750. Coming in at number 15 is Michael Jordan's base card from the 1989 Fleer basketball set with card number 21. This was a PSA 10 that received 27 bids, and it sold for $900 even. Up next at number 14 is this 1993 Fleer All-Stars Michael Jordan, card number 5. This was a PSA 10 that received 16 bids, and it sold for $1,020. Coming in at number 13 is Michael Jordan's 1991 Kenner starting lineup with card number 13. This dribbling variation was in a BGS 9.5 that received 39 bids, and it sold for $1,020. Make that back-to-back starting lineup cards at number 12 with Michael Jordan's 1988 Kenner starting lineup, card number 40. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 24 bids, and it also sold for $1,020. Coming in at number 11 is this 1988 Panini Spanish sticker Michael Jordan, card number 261. This was a PSA 10 that received 30 bids, and it sold for $1,050. And kicking off the top 10 of today's list is this 1988 Panini Spanish sticker Michael Jordan, sticker number 285. This was a PSA 10 that received 23 bids, and it sold for $1,050. Up next at number 9 is this 1993 Stadium Club members only Michael Jordan, card number 181. This was a PSA 10 that received 32 bids, and it sold for $1,260. Coming in at number 8 is this 1990 Kenner starting lineup Brown Michael Jordan. This was a PSA 10 that received 23 bids, and it also sold for $1,260. Up next at number 7 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Ultra Scoring Kings insert with card number 5. This was a PSA 9 that received 38 bids, and it sold for $2,160. Coming in at number 6 is this 1993 Finest Michael Jordan Refractor, card number 1. This refractor was in a PSA 9 that received 24 bids, and it sold for $2,760. Alright guys, and as you can tell by the prices, this was a solid weekly auction for Michael Jordan basketball cards. With that said, I have 10 bonus cards to share with you today. We'll start off with this 1993 Fleer Michael Jordan card number 28. This was a PSA 10 that received 15 bids, and it sold for $81.60. Up next is this 1992 Upper Deck Michael Jordan card number 488. This was a PSA 10 that received 10 bids, and it sold for just short of $80. For our third bonus card, I ran across Michael Jordan's base card from the 1991 Upper Deck basketball set with card number 44. This was a PSA 10 that received 13 bids, and it sold for $64.80. Up next is Michael Jordan's base card from the 1992 Topps basketball set with card number 141. This was a PSA 10 that received 14 bids, and it also sold for $64.80. For our fifth bonus card, I ran across this 1993 Topps Michael Jordan card number 384. This was a PSA 10 that received 17 bids, and it sold for $58.80. For our sixth bonus card, we get this 1992 Topps Michael Jordan card number 205. This was a PSA 10 that received 10 bids, and it sold for $55.20. For our seventh bonus card, I found this 1992 Hoops USA Michael Jordan card number 341. This was a PSA 10 that received 9 bids, and it sold for $54 even. Up next is Michael Jordan's 1992 Upper Deck MVP with card number 67. This was a PSA 10 that received 19 bids, and it sold for $52.80. For our ninth bonus card, I found this 1990 Hoops Super Streaks featuring Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson with card number 385. This was a PSA 10 that received 9 bids, and it sold for just short of $50. And for our 10th and final bonus card, we get this 1991 Upper Deck Bulls checklist with Michael Jordan, card number 75. This was a PSA 10 that received 11 bids, and it sold for $48 even. And kicking off the top 5 of today's list is this 1991 Fleer 3D Rapper Redemption Michael Jordan, card number 29. This was a PSA 9 that received 46 bids, and it sold for $3,120. Up next at number 4 is this 1988 Fleer Michael Jordan, card number 17. This was a PSA 10 that received 34 bids, and it sold for $3,480. Coming in at number 3 is Michael Jordan's 1993 Upper Deck Triple Double Hologram with card number TD2. This was a PSA 10 that received 23 bids, and it sold for $4,200. We're back to the 1980s at number 2 with Michael Jordan's 1988 Fleer All-Star card with card number 120. This was a PSA 10 that received 29 bids, and it sold for $4,320. And topping off today's list at number 1 is this 1993 Ultra Power in the Key Michael Jordan, card number 2. This was a PSA 10 that received 29 bids, and it sold for $6,600. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.